All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. These were the two problems that you were supposed to do on your Canvas lesson. So let's go ahead and double check them together. 4 to the 5/2 power, when we put it into radical form, is the square root of 4 to the 5th power. Denominator is 2. It's a square root. The numerator is 5. It's power. Square root of 4 is 2. And that's to the 5th power, which is 32. Final answer. Number 5, you have 9 to the negative 1/2 power. It's negative, so I'm going to flip it. And the 1/2 power is the square root of 9, because 2 is the denominator, which means I've got 1/3 as my final answer. And finally, 81 to the 3/4 in radical form, that's the 4th root of 81 to the 3rd power. The 4th root of 81 is 3, and then 3 cubed is 27. And again, if you're having any troubles with that, please make sure you ask for assistance. But otherwise, let's move to our last set of examples for this lesson, which is solving an equation with an nth root. And so I want to remind you of our 3 solving rules. Number 1, the goal is to isolate the variable. That is, get the variable by itself. Number 2, we use opposite operations, meaning to get rid of something, we do the opposite of it. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. And then finally, whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. So any operation I perform on one side of the equation, I need to perform the exact same operation on the other side. So we're going to use these basic fundamentals, but we're just going to add another operation. So again, we're trying to get the x to the 5th by itself. I need to do the opposite of multiplying by 4, which is dividing by 4. So I'm going to end up with x to the 5th equals 32. Now, I need to do the opposite of the 5th power, right? We need to do the opposite of taking the 5th power. And this is the thing that we just learned, right? We need to do the opposite of taking the 5th power is the 5th root. So I'm going to take the 5th root of both sides, because 5th root and 5th power will cancel each other out, leaving me with x equals the 5th root of 32, which we know is 2. And we do have to ask ourselves, is this plus or minus? Is the negative solution also a possible solution to this? And so we got to think, does negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, does that equal positive 32? And you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative signs, so no, it is not plus or minus. But whenever we do a radical, we do need to check, is it plus or minus? In this case, it is not. Because it's x equals, so it's just x equals 2. You will find, by the way, that odd roots are not plus or minus, but even roots are plus or minus. All right, let's go ahead and do the other example here. This one is being taken to the 4th power right away. I cannot add 3 to both sides because the 3 is in the parentheses with that power on the outside, so that it's kind of trapped in there. So I need to get rid of the 4th power first this time. So again, 4th power cancels 4th root, or 4th root cancels 4th power. And because it's 4th, this is plus or minus, because both the negative and the positive solution will work here. So the root and the power cancel each other out, leaving x minus 3. And then we end up with plus or minus 4th root of 21 over here, because that doesn't simplify. That has to stay like this. Now, simplifying roots, we're going to learn that in lesson 6.2, but for now we're just looking at examples that either don't simplify or are perfect. So Then we're almost done. We just need to add 3 to both sides, and we end up with 3 plus or minus the 4th root of 21. And that's all we've got for this last video. Go ahead and do the last 2 practice questions on Canvas, and then we will see you in the last video.